Welcome to this week's blog, A Kingdom Thinking Today with Dr. Francis Myles. Listen, about 24 hours ago, I just returned from a very successful ministry trip in Nigeria. What a beautiful nation Nigeria is. Wow, God is moving mightily in that great country. But 24 hours ago, before I went to sleep, the Lord dropped a bombshell revelation in my spirit. And when I heard it, I knew I had to share it with you in this week's blog. And here's what God said to me. He said to me, why are you letting yourself become a victim of man's misinformation when you are a product of my foreknowledge? That really hit me very hard. He said to me, you are a product of my foreknowledge. Why are you allowing the man's misinformation to define who you are and what I can do through you and for you? And I began to think, there are so many people in the world that we are living in who actually are living life like that. You are defined by what people think about you. You care about the opinions of people who don't know your design. They don't know your purpose, how intricately God has wired you. The psalmist says you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and yet most people that are quick to criticize you or to try to put their own evaluation of you have no clue as to your eternal purpose in God. But yet many of us live based upon what people think of us and what they don't think of us. I believe that it is time for us to reconnect to God's foreknowledge, to understand that we live in a world that's driven by information, but we come from a world that is driven by revelation. You see, nobody can know you by information. They might try to research you, look at your history, and think that they know you based upon what you've done in the past. But the reality is they have no idea that this very moment you could be having a supernatural encounter with the Holy Ghost. That's changing your life, changing your very internal dynamics, how you look about yourself, how you feel about yourself, what you believe about God. They don't know that. Only God knows that. That's why you see God has called us to live by revelation. You see, Jesus asked his disciples, who do the people say that I am? And the reason he asked them that question is not because he was looking for an answer, because remember, God is the answer before the question is even asked. He was not looking for an answer. He was looking for an opportunity to teach his apprentice apostles not to listen to the prevailing culture about who they were. You see, the world doesn't know you. Even your family members without revelation don't even know you. Even your own father in the natural. Do you know how many people I've talked to who told me they grew up with their parents telling them that they ain't gonna be nothing, they're not gonna amount to anything, their own parents. Why? Because they knew them by information, and based by the information the parents had, they did not see their children becoming great. But by revelation, some of those people have become movers and shakers, multi-millionaires, some are even billionaires. So check this out. This week's blog is probably one of the most important blogs I've ever done. And so I'm asking you to share this revelation with so many people, because I believe there are people in your circle of influence who are struggling, laboring under the burden of people's misinformation concerning who they are, instead of connecting to God's foreknowledge and discovering their reason for being. I believe what God said about Jeremiah is true about you. Before I formed you, I knew you. And I sanctify you and ordain you to be a prophet to the nations. You need to get in touch with that, with God's foreknowledge, or you are never going to be right. Again, I double dare you to share this video of the week with your friends and family on social media. Let's just blow it up, my friends, because I believe this is the week of deliverance. This is one of the most powerful teachings I've ever brought on Kingdom Thinking Today. Thank you again for being part of our blog. If you're not signed up to be part of my blog, just click on the link below and subscribe. And I'm telling you, every week, every Thursday, you get a life-changing word from the Lord. This is Dr. Francis Myles saying shalom, shalom. Thank you again for being part of this episode.